Hi, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Bodker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
Today is all about how to cut the shapes and sew a block to make the Go Flashy Foxes wall hanging. It's a free pattern at AccuQuilt.com.
To make this cute project, you'll need the Go Fox die, the Go Cube mix and match 12-inch finished block, and a variety of strip dies for the borders and bindings.
Now, the Go Fox die is on a 5x10 die board, so it will fit through all of our Go cutters, including the Go Me. Make sure you pre-fuse the back of your fabric before you start cutting.
Great tip. All right, let's cut some foxes. Now this die has 6 shapes that will be used to make our little foxes. And for this project, you'll want the bodies to face some of them one direction, some of them facing the other direction. So depending on which direction you want them to face, your fabric for the fox body will either be right side up or right side down, since those swishing tails go in opposite directions.
So today we're gonna show them how to make the orange block.
Okay.
And the fox has the tail going that direction. So on this particular block, Erica, we're gonna lay our fabric facing down. Now his little cheeks, you need 2 of them, and they also go in opposite directions.
But they're directional.
Right.
So this you need to fan fold, which we've done, or you could place one up right side up and one right side down. But we've just fan folded it. That'll work.
And you're gonna need 2 eyes and a button nose. So I just did a strip.
And then we need the tip of the tail and the little white belly. So there we go.
Perfect. Now this is on a 5x10 die board, so you're gonna wanna use a 5x10 cutting mat.
And this die will fit through any Go cutter, including a Go Me. We've got to go big on set today, so that's what we're using.
And you don't have to worry about lengthwise grain because we've already pre-fused the fabric.
That's right. All right, Miss Pam, here you go.
Give it a little love, slide, don't lift. This is such a cute little fox.
It really is.
All right, Erica, so we have our pieces cut on our fox die.
There we
so
go.
we're gonna leave in there while we cut our square.
All right, now that square is gonna be shape number 1 from our 12-inch cube. That's gonna be a 6-inch finished square. And if you're not familiar with our cube system, how can they find out about that, Pam?
Oh, we have lots of videos on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, as well as our website. Also for this block, you're gonna need some additional dies that we'll pull out. We're gonna make flying geese.
Yes.
Which is such a great block. So you're gonna need shape number 4, which are quarter square triangles, and shape number 5, which are small half square triangles. Notice, quilters, we want the left and the right are different fabrics.
Yes.
And then Erica, what shape are we gonna use here for these corners?
That is the same small half square triangle.
Yep,
so
shape
that's
number
shape number 5.
All right, so let's get our dies out and lay out some fabric. All right, Erica, so I have pre-cut my fabric.
Yes.
Subcut it down so that I'm not wasting any fabric. And we're just gonna lay those 4 layers over our shape.
Okay. And this is gonna be for our flying geese. Okay, so next up, we're gonna cut, what do you want to cut next?
Well, we'll cut the square for our fox.
Okay. Here we go. All right, now that all of our shapes are cut, we can get going with putting together our project. Okay, so for the flying geese, we're gonna start with the body of our flying geese is gonna be the white, and then we'll need the polka dot on one side, the swirly floral on the other.
And this is a great chain piecing block, Erica, so we're just gonna sew 2 of them together real quick.
Okay.
All right. Now, the great thing you'll notice about these quarter square triangles and half square triangles is we've cut off the dog ears. So from here to here is a 1/4-inch seam. And as we sew them together, you're gonna see how perfectly these shapes are gonna line up with each other.
Now, when you line up your first one, you wanna line it up with the bottom, and you will see these 2 little tips here. Don't panic, okay? Because once this is pressed open, we're gonna fit perfectly, and you'll see how it goes together.
So I'm gonna do one side and hand it to the lovely Erica so she can press. All right. Line it up right here in the end. It's going to come together beautifully because we've cut off those dog ears, have that perfect 1/4 inch seam. Miss Erica, I'm going to let you press those away.
All right.
And then we'll talk about building out our rows.
Great.
Okay, you're going to need a total of 4 flying geese for your block, just like this. And then let me just show you how to add these half square triangle units to your sides. You want to make sure that the color is facing in. I like to lay out my blocks to make sure I sew them correctly.
I do too. I do too.
And you'll need a top and a bottom row. And then the other 2 flying geese are just going to be on either side of your fox block.
And we get to build our fox next.
All right, Erica, should we build our fox on our mat? Because we're going to press down the pieces. All right. So get his little head.
Okay. And we're just going to fold this corner back, and it's just going to peel right off. And there we go.
And you want to make sure you have enough room in the top and the bottom for that.
I think we need to scoot him down a little bit.
Seam allowance. Make sure he's straight. And again, you want to make sure the left and the right have enough space. So maybe he needs to go a little bit to the left. All right, do you want to give it a little press?
Okay.
And I like to press these in sections like this.
I do too. I do too. So go ahead, set the bottom. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we can move ahead and set the next section. That's going to be the little cheeks.
And while we're doing the cheeks, should we add a nose?
I think so.
Now, make sure you keep track of your noses.
How often do you say that? There we go.
There we go. Little nose in the center.
Perfect.
All right, and then let's just add an eye to either side.
Here we go.
This would be a really fun project for kids to put together.
Oh, absolutely.
Build their own little foxes.
Absolutely.
All right, and there's his belly, and here's the little white of his tail back here.
Fabulous.
Excellent.
All right. There we go.
All right, now that our little fox is complete, do you want to talk about the embroidery shapes that we have for free?
That's right. So you can finish your little fox off any way that you like. But if you have an embroidery machine, we have free downloadable embroidery to do the basic outline of the pieces in 3 different stitches. This is a sample of our motif stitch. We've also got a really cute blanket stitch.
I like the blanket stitch on him.
I do too. I do too. And a great satin stitch. Now this would be super if you were going to put him, say, on a baby quilt that would get washed a lot.
Right.
Or maybe on a garment. This would be really cute on a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, wouldn't it?
Right. Or you could do like a burp cloth and a baby bib.
So many options
So many
with
really
this
fun.
dye. Now, but if you don't have an embroidery machine, don't worry. You can do raw edge quilting. You can just sew right inside the edge with your regular sewing machine with a straight stitch. You could use a decorative stitch, or you could just quilt right over the top when your wall hanging is finished.
All right, let's look at our wall hanging and talk about the 2 different kinds of borders.
Okay.
So here are 2 different kinds of blocks. Look how cute they are.
They're
in
adorable.
The 2 different colorways. We've used our 1.5 inch, 1 inch finish strip die to make the sashing and these sweet little cornerstones. We've also used the 3.5 inch, 3 inch finish strip die to make this outer border, and then the 2.5 inch strip die to finish with the binding. Once your quilt top is done, layer batting between the quilt top and the backing. Pin or base layers together, quilt as desired, and add that binding. Be sure and miter your corners. Also, share your finished projects with us on all of our social media platforms.
There's nothing tricky about the Go Flashy Foxes wall hanging because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time.
So you can quilt more.